Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Parker again, back again with another action figure review. Today we are reviewing something out of my normal territory. We're doing a DC Comics Multiverse 3 3/4 inch figure, and today we're doing the Christopher Reeve Superman. So I've been tiptoeing on buying this figure for a while, but I got it recently and it's just come in the mail today, and I just really wanted to make a video on it. So as we can see here, the packaging is pretty standard for the old DC Multiverse. We have this kind of like cardboard strip up top with Superman the movie, and then DC Comics Multiverse up here, adult collector, highly detailed and authentic. We have a nice picture of Christopher Reeve Superman there, and then just his name, and then a plastic bubble to showcase the figure. On the back, we have the exact same picture from the front, Superman the movie with more of a flashy background. Right there we have a bio on not Superman, but the DC Comics Multiverse figure line as a whole, which is unique. Not a whole lot of things do that. We have his name. We have some superhero, some of his superpowers. Where he works, his main villain. So that's always a neat little thing. And then right here we have not really a checklist, but just others that come in the way. So you can get Danny DeVito's Penguin, General Zod from the same movie, and then Catwoman from goodness, I'm blanking on the movie she comes from, but you know what I'm talking about. With the packaging out of the way, let's get this thing open and pose it around a little bit. Alright, I've got this figure opened up, and it's a pretty cool looking figure, all things considered. I've actually only owned one other DC Multiverse figure, so I actually knew what to expect a little bit, but we will go over the articulation first, because I think that might be the most interesting part of these DC Multiverse figures, because it's just so unique. So first up we have, I'm certain that's a ball joint, but you're not going to get much other than side to side. Like, he's not going to look up or down a whole lot. You have a single hinge at the shoulder and elbow. You're not going to get a whole lot of range out of that elbow, but it does what it needs to. And then there's a straight just swivel at the wrist. The torso does not move whatsoever, no ab crunch, no swivel or anything. Then we get down to the legs, and at the thighs, this is one of the most unique ways of articulating an action figure I've ever seen. I think they did it to keep the look of the sculpt, but it also just looks a little strange. So you can kick up and down, and then there's a joint, not right here, where if you think of the Marvel Epic Hero series for they were released in the past couple years, they just had a straight hinge here. No, so there's a swivel here, and then there's a hinge a little below the trunks, and it kicks out like that. Actually kicks out a fair amount for how small the hinge is, but you can see in there there's the hinge. It's just a really unique way of articulating. And another unique way is they have a knee cut, so you can swivel them at the knee, which is something I don't think I've seen almost any other action figure ever do besides Marvel Legends, and that's only when a character has boots. I think her name is Titania from the Secret Wars wave. She could do that, but it's only because she had the big old boots on. And then he has a single jointed knee, which will get you a lot actually. So looking at this figure, it is a honestly pretty faithful adaptation of the Christopher Reeve Superman costume. It's a good looking figure. So the face there, you can see it's definitely molded to look like Christopher Reeve. If you put this guy in a display, you'd probably be able to see which Superman they're adapting here. We go down, we got the nice skin tight blue suit, the S in red, and then the yellow is actually painted on there decent. There's only a little bit of paint over on that little right there. I do very much like the red that they're using for the paint and the cape and everything. Then we get to the trunks. He has it's a shiny yellow. Just the paint is shiny. It's not meant to be metallic or anything. It's nice yellow belt with some red belt straps from the trunks, and then down is just a straight blue again, and then we get the boots, which are just red boots with some cuffing at the top that cut off at the knees. On the back, we could turn it over, and it has the Superman S on the cape, which is something a lot of Supermen don't do anymore, which is interesting. I do like this figure a whole lot, actually. I was really wanting a Christopher Reeve Superman. Now, I never watched the movie because I've always been a bigger fan of Marvel, but I have always, like, I've seen clips from the Superman movies, and I just have to say he just, like, looks like Superman a whole lot. Like, he's just, like, he was, like, the perfect actor to get for it. And this figure is decent. It's not the greatest. It's not the worst. It could be 5 POA, and that'd be a nightmare. But you could definitely get them in some decent looking flight poses. Maybe you can get him in some action poses with your General Zod if you have one. He is a cool looking figure. I mean, it's just a very simple costume. First off, there's not a whole lot of sculpting and like paintwork here. You're just getting red and yellow pretty much, because I'm sure this is molded in blue. That's what it feels like, because even like the joints and stuff are blue, so I'm gonna go ahead and assume this is molded in blue plastic. But the head is pretty well painted. Like, you can see the little curl there. It's not like there's not horrible paint and bleed anywhere, not enough to be noticeable. The hair is nicely sculpted. The face is, like I said before, decent. It looks enough like Christopher Reeve to where when you pull it back, you can be like, oh yeah, I know exactly what Superman that is. It's over. The DC Multiverse line was just strange, especially with this articulation. Like, I've never seen this before. This is just such a weird way of articulating an action figure. I mean, it's neat. It's definitely unique, for one thing. It's just like, I think they were trying to do it to preserve the sculpt, but honestly, kind of make some more seam lines. Like, if you can see there, it's more noticeable, especially on this guy, because it's just straight like spandex. It's not, you're not gonna hide a lot. I think a better case of them hiding the joints and stuff will be on the only other DC Multiverse figure I own, the Michael Keaton Batman. So you can see there, since it's all black, that's a lot better at covering up the seam lines. And also, he has torso articulation, which is strange because I am almost certain this guy doesn't have that. Oh, never mind. I'm a fool. He does. It was just super tight. And he has torso articulation. Just a swivel. But see, even that, you can get him in some, maybe like a wall busting pose. That's a neat little thing. Also, I don't think I've ever seen a DC Multiverse figure with any ab crunch whatsoever. I think besides the 6-inch, I know they did a lot of 3 and 3/4 inch. Obviously, I got Keaton Batman here. But it's just it was a very unique toy line then, and it is still one of the most unique toy lines I've ever seen. This is around the same time as Marvel Universe, so the fact that they did articulation like this is super duper interesting. But all in all, I think this is a really cool looking figure. If you can find him for a decent price, under like $100 at this point, I think it's most definitely worth it. It's just such a cool looking figure. It's pretty much a blast in the past. You know, especially if you grew up watching the Superman movies, I just think you're gonna love this figure. Alright, that's the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely some more action figure reviews coming up in the future, because I've already pre-recorded a couple of them, so they're going to be going up on the channel in the coming weeks. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one, and bye.